98.1 The One is more than a station.
We don't just play music, we keep you company, cheer you up, keep you informed and entertained. We are a vibe. What do you mean?
Every day we bring the party to you.
We are your #1 party station.
We love playing music for our listeners.
And we're committed to working with our clients and advertisers to make sure that you get the attention that you deserve.
98.1 The One, celebrating 18 and still your #1 party station.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kia Lewis, General Practitioner and Healthy Lifestyle Advocate. Good nutrition starts at home. So this school year, I want you to consider packing healthy, nutritious snacks and lunches for your children to carry, rather than having them buy them at school. And don't just pack things you think they should have. Have a discussion and come up with things that you both know they will enjoy.
We enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
It's summer vacation, and CBC TV8 says laugh a little. Your mid-mornings have now included some family-friendly, side-splitting series like The Partridge Family, Benson, and Designing Women. TV not to be missed this vacation. Weekdays from 10 a.m. on CBC TV8. It's Match Day Live from the 246 with host Damian Best. Your all-access pass to the action happening in the BFA Premier League and beyond. Every last Monday of the month on CBC TV8. Kickoff time, 8:30 p.m. with analysis from our panel and highlights of the top performances. You can weigh in on the discussion via WhatsApp on 228-5562. It's Match Day Live from the 246. Don't you miss it.
My friend, you don't plan to get it? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it, Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
I'm Anne St. John, a consultant pediatrician. When packing healthy lunch boxes, do include a fruit, which includes a banana, apple, orange, or grapes to supply fiber. Aim for low-calorie packaged snacks without the mention of flour or sugar amongst the four ingredients on the back label. 1 in 3 children in Barbados is affected by overweight or obesity. Let us join together as parents and care providers to reduce the further development of this chronic non-communicable disease within our communities.
Not only grown-ups can sing, we can too.
So easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to.
CBC TV 8 is having a kids karaoke show just for us. So children between the ages of 5 to 17 come in and join in for fun. Email Nadia Foster at nfoster@cbc.bb. Hear you soon. Bye.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together building a community for all mature audiences. That's why we say Q is good for you. To our Q family, we say thank you for staying connected to Q100.7 FM. QFM is a station of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC, celebrating 60, connecting Barbadian communities.
Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout or Brownie Pack, or any organization or club with children ages 4 to 11 years? If yes is the answer, then we at Fun School, we're looking for you. Let's have fun singing, dancing, listening to amazing stories, doing craft, and so much more. I'm such a kid at heart. But to be part of this fun and exciting new season of Fun School, just simply send an email to Alicia Alves Grant at aagrant@cbc.bb for further details. Fun School is back, and we're looking for you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business.
This is the CBC Morning Report for today, Thursday, October 19th. I'm Tishia Hines. Good morning. In our top story, the Barbados Meteorological Service continues its monitoring of Tropical Storm Tammy, which is threatening to bring 2 to 4 inches of rain to the eastern Caribbean islands by weekend. Barbados, Dominica, Martinique, Guadeloupe, Antigua and Barbuda, Montserrat and St. Kitts and Nevis are all under tropical storm watches. Tammy is the 20th storm of the Atlantic hurricane season. Acting Meteorologist 1 Nkosi Mounter-Tate in the latest advisory revealed Tammy's center nudged slightly northward. At 5 this morning, the center of Tammy was located near 13.5 degrees north, 54.8 west, or approximately 275 miles to the east of Barbados. Maximum sustained winds remain near 40 miles per hour. Tammy is currently moving westward at 17 miles per hour. Met officials say marine conditions are forecast to deteriorate from Thursday night, with moderate to rough swells of 2.5 to 3.5 meters in open water. As a result, a small craft warning and high surf advisory is in effect for Barbados. As the system is projected to pass north of the island, there is the possibility of occasional gusty winds in moderate to heavy showers associated with feeder bands. Model guidance currently projects rainfall accumulations around 2 to 4 inches, with isolated higher amounts on higher grounds. We will give you an update of the weather when it becomes available. Attorney at law and member of the Integrity Group Barbados, Alicia Archer, has acknowledged that the issue of how a proposed Integrity Commission will be financed is not a simple one. Speaking during a panel discussion hosted by the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Barbados and the IGB entitled Change Through Integrity, she said whatever structure is eventually agreed to, it cannot take the form of traditional commissions for a number of reasons.
The persons who are the subject matter of the legislation cannot be the ones who determine how much money and when the commission is funded. We have suggested a facility such as that, which obtains with the CCJ, where they get their money and then it is invested, etc., or whatever, to ensure the viability of the institution. But I cannot see how the Minister of Finance is the one who is essentially determine what a commissioner is to be paid, what the commission is to get, therefore which impacts on how many staff members the commission can have, etc. What resources the police force will have in order to be able to carry out the mandates of the commission as far as it comes to investigation and so on. That, I wouldn't say that it has fallen on deaf ears, but the response has always been that there is no money for the kind of things that we are suggesting. But at some point you have to find the money if you're really serious about what it is that you are doing. And it is a glaring deficiency as far as the establishment of the Integrity Commission and therefore the entire operation of the integrity legislation going forward, that as far as we can see.
She adds that campaign financing must also form a part of any new legislation, along with the Freedom of Information Act.
The UN Convention Against Corruption, the 2003 Act, which is specifically incorporated into the proceeds of crime legislation, specifically requires the government to enact legislation which makes provision for monitoring campaign donations, etc. It must come. Whether it's a box-ticking exercise, at this point in time, where it's not 1975, there are endless international agencies that are breathing down our neck, and certain things must come. In addition to that, the entire thing must be underpinned by freedom of information. There is no commission with 6 people, 7 or 20 who can possibly police all of the infractions that take place across the political and private sector landscape in Barbados. You have to be able to facilitate the ordinary member of the public in being able to find information, make the report, or even if not the ordinary member of the public, at least the fourth estate, the press, needs to be able to investigate and bring certain matters to light. Those things all have to form part of the suite of legislation. And I realize, and we have realized, that for years we have been circling this entire concept of freedom of information, whether it is open data or otherwise. But without that, the entire thing falls flat. Without the whistleblower, the entire thing falls flat, because I'm not making a complaint to jeopardize my pension when some politician can then determine whether or not my family eats going forward. You have to protect people, and you can't expect the public to buy into the entire scheme unless they are in fact protected.
Meanwhile, political scientist and IGB member Deveron Bruce says, fortunately, there are very useful examples in the region for Barbados to follow.
And I think Jamaica has the most established integrity framework in the region, if you ask me. And one of the interesting things that Jamaica recognized initially was that the management of the legislation determined how well it was implemented and how well follow-up occurred, and therefore the effectiveness. So Jamaica, for instance, had its Contractor General, it had the Prevention of Corruption Act, it had the integrity legislation. And what they recognized is in managing these various pieces of legislation, you had issues of duplication, you had issues of resources. We understand how our bureaucratic system works. Something falls off the truck, someone goes on vacation and nobody sees the file. So we understand how these things become a problem. So what Jamaica has done is, in essence, created a one-stop shop where they have blended the expertise and blended all the legislation onto one body. So they no longer have a Contractor General, for instance. They have an Integrity Commission that also deals with those issues, because they recognize that managerially you have problems in rolling out duplication of efforts, persons not knowing what responsibility they have, for instance.
Well, coming up on the CBC Morning Report, an agreement to allow aid into Gaza.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad? Or do you know of one who has migrated to another country? Well, we at Mornin Barbados would love to have you or them on our Bajan Affair segment. Share your amazing stories, experiences, and how you have adapted to a new culture. Send us an email to morninbarbados@cbc.bb, and together we will travel the world.
Oh, hi.
The U.S. has announced that about 28 trucks will be allowed to enter Gaza via Egypt in the coming days, with Israel saying it won't block the aid. The announcement follows a visit to Israel by U.S. President Joe Biden, after which Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Washington's support will ensure continuation of the war.
There was this growing narrative here in Washington and in other world capitals that perhaps the U.S. president didn't achieve anything by flying personally to Tel Aviv to meet with the Israeli prime minister, mainly because of the hospital explosion. The meeting he was supposed to have in person with the Egyptian president, with the president of the PA, and with the King of Jordan had been scrapped at the last second. However, this is also going to be really a test not just for U.S. diplomacy, but for the ability of Egypt and Israel to try to build on their long-standing diplomatic relationship by allowing these 20 tractor trailers in through Rafah in order to bring in aid, food, medicine, other emergency equipment to help the people inside Gaza who have basically amassed there to try to avoid the fighting between Hamas and the Israeli military. This could be very much a test because the U.S. president indicated that the initial idea was to try to get 150 trucks of equipment into southern Gaza, but they're going to start just with this first tranche of 20 trucks bringing aid to humanitarian groups, which will in turn distribute it.
A protest sponsored by a Jewish American group calling for a ceasefire in Gaza led to multiple arrests Wednesday after hundreds of demonstrators entered the rotunda of the Cannon House office building on Capitol Hill despite warnings from police.
The demonstrators are calling for an immediate ceasefire amid the rising death toll in Gaza. Capitol Police have slowly been arresting some of the activists. Some protesters are wearing shirts with the words "Not in our name." Let's bring in Paddy Culhane, who's at the Congressional Office Building in Washington, D.C. Hello there, Paddy. How many demonstrators remain, and have police been able to get things under control?
Oh, it's been pretty calm, I should say. The police just slowly, one by one, arresting the protesters. Very few are putting up a fight. Some are trying to not resist, but just basically not stand up on their legs. But for the most part, they've just been taking them away one by one. You saw me earlier in the last couple of hours. There was probably 100 to maybe 150 people, and you can see the police have clearly made their way through, arresting the core group now, putting them in zip ties and taking them away. Now, probably none of these people are going to spend the night in jail, although we should say Capitol Police say 3 people have been charged with assaulting police officers. They are facing much more serious charges. These people are all going to be charged with just basically trespassing on the house. It's a fine, and they'll be sent home. The police knew that this was happening. They were allowed into the building. Of course, they went through metal detectors, but earlier in the day, they were very, very much louder than this.
Well, it's time now to preview what's coming up on today's presentation of Morning Barbados. We, of course, are going to be talking to you about a whole lot of very interesting things, so we encourage you to stay with us for the show. Kfest, the experience of Korean culture in Barbados. We're going to be talking a lot about that and a big event that's coming up that you definitely want to be a part of. Also, the NCF's Cara Price, Cultural Officer for the Literary Arts, will be in on the heels of the launch of NIFCA 50 last evening to share more about what's happening with NIFCA this time around with us, plus the breast screening program of the Barbados Cancer Society. They're going to be here to talk to us more about what they're doing. And we're linking up with radio personality, the Admiral. That's all at 6:30. But next we have more news, sports and weather. Stay with us.
Oh, hi. My name is Stacia Whitaker, and I'm a registered dietitian nutritionist and a member of the Heart and Stroke Childhood Obesity Prevention Coalition. My motto is, when in doubt, leave it out, and it goes for when I'm eating, because sometimes things have ingredients that we're not sure of, and I like to keep it simple. And if I'm eating something and I'm not sure the ingredients in that particular thing, then I choose to leave it out. So I keep my snacking simple with fruit, nuts, or just water. It's easy to remember, there's no added ingredients, and it's also very nutritious. So remember, childhood obesity is real, so choose healthier alternatives. And when in doubt, leave it out.
Enjoy movies, soaps, drama, comedy, inspiration, education, music, and more. You get it all when you get MCTV, because MCTV gives you more.
The facts say Morning Barbados reaches an audience of over 50,000 and Newsnight reaches over 56,000. It's simple. When you advertise, you're getting your message to over 50,000 of your potential customers. Make the call to CBC Sales Department today.
The report on the prison escape that occurred last month has been completed. Minister of Home Affairs Wilfred Abrams has shared the findings in an exclusive interview with CBC. Crystal Hoyt reports.
It was on September 21st that news broke of a prisoner escaping from Dodds Prison. Police identified that inmate as 21-year-old murder-accused Tariq Benskin, who had been on remand since 2020. His time on the run was short-lived as police received the information about 3:45 p.m. and a few hours later, Benskin was recaptured by officers patrolling along Yorkshire Road, Christchurch. The incident, however, sparked many questions, particularly about the security at the St. Philip facility. An investigation into what transpired has now been completed, and Minister of Home Affairs Wilfred Abrams says recommendations are on the table. Speaking briefly outside of Parliament, he said it was the first time that a prisoner escaped from the facility. The last prison escape was in 1999 at the former Glenderry Prison, which was located in Station Hill. Nevertheless, Minister Abrams remains confident in the integrity of Dodds Prison, its policies and protocols.
Having said that, all the best arrangements in the world are only as good as the persons who man it. And despite the best protocols you may have, if people don't do what they're supposed to do and don't follow the protocols, then the protocols don't amount for anything. So this was a case where at least one prison officer acted in a negligent manner, and his actions allowed the potential for a prisoner to escape, and the prisoner did. It's a basic rule in Dodds Prison. You never open two doors at either end of a corridor or at either end of a space at the same time. For one door to be open, the next one is supposed to be shut. A situation arose where the cell was opened to feed the inmate, and the door at the end of the corridor was also open, and the door to the outside was also open. And the inmate pushed aside everybody and made a run for it.
I asked Minister Abrams if anyone has been held accountable and if additional security measures have been put in place as a result of the incident. This was his response.
We've identified the persons who are responsible for what happened. And disciplinary processes have been recommended, and that is in train as we speak. Obviously, we reinforce to everybody the need to follow the protocols. And even further, had the protocols been followed, the person would never made it to the outside. But having made it to the outside, we've even strengthened things in the direct area of the building. So his ability to get over the initial fence and go, that area is now being caged in entirely. It could have been avoided. It should have been avoided. And I can pretty much say with some degree of certainty that that route that he took, nobody's ever going to escape that way again.
Can you confirm, as reported in another section of the media, that a female officer has resigned as a result of this incident?
I can confirm that a female officer has resigned. I do not believe it was in relation to this particular incident, but a female officer has resigned.
The Home Affairs Minister also took the time to commend the Barbados Defence Force, the Barbados Police Service, prison authorities, and the general public for their efforts in recapturing the inmate. Crystal Hoyt, CBC News.
Well, thank you so much, Crystal. A high-level conference seeking to find solutions to the region's crime problems has gotten underway in Barbados. The CCJ Academy for Law 7th Biennial Conference has brought together policymakers, judges, law students, attorneys at law, and other key stakeholders from across the Caribbean. CBC's Sharika Griffith has that report.
Regional stakeholders have gathered in Barbados to find solutions to what is being described as an alarming pandemic of crime and criminality engulfing much of the Caribbean, leaving citizens feeling unsafe. This, coupled with lengthy remand periods, sometimes in excess of 15 years, have been described as unacceptable.
They must be reformed. There must be swift justice for the guilty so that there is a correlation between crime and punishment in the public perception. The innocent must not have their liberty and productive years sacrificed on the altar of inefficiency and disinterest. It is time for all victims of criminal justice to have real justice.
Mr. Justice Winston Anderson is a judge of the Caribbean Court of Justice and the chair of the CCJ's Academy for Law, the host of the conference. He explains the desired outcomes of the three-day event.
The objective of the conference is for us to share our experiences, identify best practices, and endorse a set of specific, concrete, and realizable recommendations that will result in a significant improvement in our current systems and ways of doing things.
Barbados Attorney General Dale Marshall says while some presenters are from Europe, it's important that stakeholders look at the issues from their unique perspective as small island states.
When we make a decision to hire more judges, there's a good chance that it means fewer nurses for the Queen Elizabeth Hospital. My constituency is in the east of the island. St. Joseph has the worst roads in Barbados. But I have to tell the Prime Minister I will abide with bad roads for another year or two because we want to divert those funds toward the criminal justice system. The point is that we all have a very small pot and we have to decide how to use the ingredients in that pot with a minimum of friction and waste.
And social analyst with the Caribbean Development Bank, Albert Ellis, speaks about how a reduction in crime could improve a country's economic position.
It has been estimated that the reduction of crime and criminality to an acceptable level could improve gross domestic product by up to 5%.
A 2019 UNDP assessment of regional judicial systems found that backlogs directly contribute to the high levels of prisoners on remand for extended periods and serve to increase incarceration rates, which are among the highest in the world. Sharika Griffith, CBC News.
Prime Minister Mir Amor Maudsley has called out the World Bank for its new policy on debt suspension for vulnerable countries. In June, World Bank President Ajay Banga announced that vulnerable countries would be able to pause their debt payments if hit by a climate disaster. However, this would only apply to new loans. Speaking during the Canada-CARICOM summit in Ottawa yesterday, Ms. Maudsley said the absence of pause clauses for existing debt does not help countries like Antigua and Dominica should they be hit by approaching weather systems.
I'm saying that if this is to be meaningful and if we are to accept the scientists' view that we are running out of time within which we can do the adaptation necessary to meet the increase in temperatures, then it cannot be for future debt, because we will have to wait another 10 to 15 years for it to have any kind of corresponding impact on our countries. Secondly, I'm told that it is going to be intended for principal alone. We cannot ask people to pay interest rates when they're supposed to be feeding people in the aftermath of a crisis.
Prime Minister Maudsley has also suggested the funding model of the World Bank needs to be expanded to include multinational corporations. She notes a call for a review of the institution is contained in the Bridgetown Initiative.
If we can, one, ensure that we have access to some kind of global mechanism for multinational corporations whose balance sheet exceeds perhaps more than half the world's countries. And if we can also have a mechanism for philanthropy to play its part, recognizing that they get to spend on what they like, but we need them to spend on what the world needs. And therein lies the difficulty. So that we have three sources of funding then: public money, private sector capital, not to bankrupt them, but to leave a little few cents on the table, and philanthropy. And we can then have a World Bank that is scaled up to help meet the needs of the world.
Now, during the opening of the summit, Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau announced a new initiative expected to further cement the ties between Canada and CARICOM.
Today, we're bringing our relationship and our friendship to the next level with the launch of the CARICOM Canada Strategic Partnership. Deepening and strengthening our relationship will help us tackle urgent challenges together, creating good jobs, ending poverty, growing the middle class, making life more affordable, fighting climate change and protecting the environment, including protecting our oceans, which I know is vital for the Caribbean, small island and coastal states, and building, of course, a secure, peaceful hemisphere and a secure, peaceful world.
Well, it's time for us to take a brief look at the weather before we leave you at this time. We certainly hope you're getting ready. It's 10:09.8. That's the barometric pressure. Air temperature 25.3 degrees Celsius, so a little cooler today. The relative humidity stands at 90% and the winds are blowing out of the north at 8 kilometers per hour. Present temperature is fair. Sea conditions, moderate in open water with swells ranging from 1.5 to 2 meters and steady. And here's a look at how the tides roll in today in Barbados. Be careful as you head out for your early morning sea bath. General conditions for Barbados, mostly fair at first, gradually becoming a mix of sunshine and clouds with the occasional scattered light to moderate showers and very slight chance of isolated thunderstorms. Into the evening, here's what you can expect. Mostly cloudy conditions with clear breaks with the occasional scattered light to moderate showers and a slight chance of isolated thunderstorms. Now that's today's morning report. Our next newscast is Newsday at 12 noon on TV8, followed by The World at 1 via our radio network of stations on 100.7 FM, 98.1 The One, and 94.7 FM. Thanks for viewing. Morning Barbados is next.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning to you indeed, and welcome to today's presentation of Morning Barbados. That means I have to say to you, good morning. That's right, welcome to another presentation for today, Thursday, October 19th. Wonderful to have you in company on this Thursday. That means we are one day closer to the weekend. I don't know if that means something to you because my weekends are equally as busy as during the week. So people say, yay, the weekend is coming. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, it's the weekend, but it's still work. Nonetheless, for those of you who will be maxing and relaxing for the weekend, that might be a good thing for you. So that's absolutely wonderful. Remember, you can follow us online. We are on streaming on YouTube. You can also find us online on Facebook and wherever you can find social media pages. Absolutely, we are there. So it was on October 19th, 1938, that marks the beginning of commercial aviation in Barbados. On that note, I have to say a special good morning to my friend Clyde Outram. Always good to have you viewing, and he, of course, shares lots with us. I know there's also a significant day coming up tomorrow that we're going to speak with him about. Now, Barbados has a long history in aviation, which dates back to March of 1913, when Otto Schmidt gave Barbadians their very first experience of aviation when he took off in an airplane from the garrison Savannah. Smith's plane was not flown into Barbados, but rather had been shipped to the island by steamer and assembled here. Barbados' second encounter with aircrafts and aviation came on Good Friday. That was March 30th, 1929, when Captain William Newton Lancaster landed his British Avro Avian airplane at the Rockley Golf Course in Christchurch. Lancaster had flown from Guadeloupe to Barbados, which was part of a 10,000-mile route from New York to South America and then back to New York via Mexico. I don't know if you've ever been out on the golf course and seen the monument. There's actually a wonderful monument there to commemorate the occasion. Now, Lancaster's journey was a test of endurance for the Cirrus engine, which with the plane was outfitted with, rather. Lancaster also wanted to win the gold medal in the Central Union Trust Corporation of America-sponsored competition for the first airplane to complete the journey. So we're going to share a little bit more with you about that coming up a little bit later on the show, but certainly a big day for aviation in Barbados. So I have to say a special good morning to everybody who's worked in aviation and who continues to work in aviation. Means a great deal to us here in Barbados, and when we think about it, that's how a lot of people get here. So we absolutely have to thank you for the work you do. Now we're going to jump into what's happening today. And I know through the years, certainly for me as the mom of a teenager, I can tell you that things like K-pop have been growing quite exponentially in popularity, not only here in Barbados, but across the region. So this morning we are telling you all about Kfest, which is an experience of Korean culture in Barbados. And joining us to talk about it, we have Selbert Johnson, who's manager of International Youth Fellowship Barbados, and Damon Kim, who's a pastor, along with Chloe, a volunteer, joining us this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Wonderful to have you with us.
Yes, we're happy to be here.
All right, let's talk with you, Mr. Johnson. Start there. Tell me about, from your view, what's happening with, Korean culture here in Barbados.
Right. So last year, actually, we did the first Korean experience, and up to the day when we started, maybe less than 100 people registered, but actually about 400 people came. So we were really, really shocked, and all of them they love K-pop and Korean culture. So
yeah, I'm not surprised. Every trip to New York has to end up on 32nd Street, where there's a proliferation of Korean culture, and I think it's also named like it's Korean Street or something of that name. But Pastor Kim, talk to me about the show that you're going to be putting on, the event this time around, and the interest that you've seen in Korean culture.
Oh, so this is first time to visit Barbados for me, but I was so inspired because we've been to the college and the university and a high school. But many people, they saw us and they were shocked. Oh, Korean people was here. Oh, I'd like to meet them. So when we introduce our culture and our event to people, they really want to come. I think Korean culture is like it's trend in the world these days. So personally, I'm so happy because it's more easier to meet people for me. So yeah, it's great.
Good stuff. Kim, tell me about you, Chloe. What has been happening with you since you've been here? Is this your first trip to Barbados as well?
Yeah. I just came to Barbados like 4 days ago, and though the weather is really hot, but I think I really love the people in Barbados. Yeah.
All right, wonderful. So talk to me about this event that is coming off under the banner of the International Youth Fellowship, and I think it's truly commendable that, you know, as a church organization, you are paying attention to what your youth, because I know this is really driven by younger people and their interest, like I said, in K-pop, which is music, and the musicians that go along with it. And for my daughter is Blackpink. All of those groups. So that's the only way I know about it. So it says that you're paying attention to what the young people are doing and what they like.
Yes. So for young people, there are many trends, but you know, because the Korean culture is actually, you know, very deep. It's similar in many ways to, you know, Barbadian and Caribbean culture and the way they relate. But one thing, you know, the reason we're doing this is to have interaction and exchange, especially culturally, because International Youth Fellowship, we are paying attention to the development of the youth, not just youth, but also family. And the cultural exchange is opening the heart to people who are different from us, who think differently, who look different. And, you know, the world has actually become just one, you know, one village. So we have to be a little bit more broad-minded, and especially as, you know, we do ministry as well, you know, we have to make a lot of changes and, you know, the things that attract the young people, because there are youth who want to do something, but they don't know what to channel their energies into, and we want to provide some guidance.
Talk to me about the connection. How were you able to make the connection to have Korean people come here to be able to make the experience truly authentic?
Right. The founder of IYF is from South Korea. You know, his name is Pastor Oksu Park. And the way it started is actually a little story, but I'm going to condense it. So there was one family who had some difficulties, and the youth, he was doing drugs, he was, you know, carrying a pistol and getting into a lot of trouble. But mother, she didn't know what to do. So she asked, you know, pastor to help her, and he said, you know, send him to me. So he spent 1 month with Pastor Park, and he changed. His hair color changed, the way he dressed changed, his whole attitude, and he was very happy. And when he came back, you know, all the people, they saw him, you know, they were really touched, really moved, really impressed, and they also wanted. So through that, we started what we now call the World Camp that we have in South Korea every year. So last year, I was inviting people to go, but, you know, nobody took up the challenge. You know, I hope, like, you know, next year, you know, more people will be able to partake in it. But because 20,000 young people from about over 50 countries gathered together, and there was a really great cultural exchange. So I am a part of the International Youth Fellowship, and it started in South Korea. So I have access to, you know, real live Korean people who will and be happy to come here every year, you know, so, you know, around this time. And if we can, you know, make even a large national event, you know, we can, you know, arrange that kind of thing as well.
All right, Damon, what did you know about Barbados before you came, or did you have to go do a lot of research to be able to, you know, figure out where you were going?
Okay, I've never heard about Barbados before, and I would never expect to be here. But when I heard I will be here, I will come here, I research on Google what is Barbados and weather and culture and everything. So I found it out many Korean people these days, they really want to come here as a vacation and as a tour. But I didn't come here for the vacation, but I came here for having an event, meeting people, interact with young people. But when I met young people, I was so shocked because they have pure hearts, actually much more pure hearts than Korean people. So they really like us, and that's why we can learn from them. Actually, these days, because you asked to Sebert about why Korean culture is very trendy these days, I think the meaning of the lyrics, because the Korean K-pop, the meaning of the lyrics in K-pop is very meaningful. So we are talking about the hope and peace in our future. Because as time goes by, the young people, they are getting isolated and they don't have connection with the leaders and parents. That's why there are so many social problems these days. But we believe the young people, they are future leaders. So we have a hope. So that's why we are here. So.
Oh, I love that. But you're right. The messages are definitely wonderful messages. And I myself, I'm forced to listen to a lot of the music, which is why I know many of the bands and lots of the music and things like that. What about you, Chloe? Talk to me about how you heard about Barbados and went about your research.
I still have never heard about Barbados, but my first time to what is Barbados, and I came to know that it's an island, small island. Since I came to Barbados, every day I feel that the sky is so beautiful. So people, I love the people here. So I think I really love Barbados.
All right, good stuff. Are you guys as into, because I know you're a pastor and this is brokered through the church, yes. And obviously sometimes the culture of a country does not necessarily align with what those who are in the church really want to project out there. So your thoughts, Pastor, on K-pop generally. I know you said it's music of hope, but share your thoughts generally on the culture of the music, because I know a big part of it is about it's about looks. So a lot of makeup and clothes, yes. And it's very glitzy.
To be honest, when I came here, the first thing that I was inspired was the fashion of Barbados people. And also, like, when you see the wall of the house, very colorful. Because Korean people, they are really interested in fashion and good looking and makeup, stuff like that, you said. But I definitely will bring this to my country because you guys are very good at wearing a good clothes and matching the color. And yeah, it was so inspired because Barbados is like very far from Asia country, so maybe Korean people, they don't know about this. So that's why I'm taking a picture and video with people and everything. So I will bring everything to my country. Yeah.
And he shows up on the day that I match my colors.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. Red and blue. Yeah, I was inspired.
You're talking about colors, but is that to say that the houses in Korea aren't necessarily brightly colored?
Oh, actually, yeah, we don't prefer bright color. Actually, we are in the war with North Korea. So when you go to Korea, the roof, the color of the roof are all green because we don't have to be recognized by the airplane, by the attack. That's why our color is like very similar, like one or two colors.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
so very different part of the world here in Barbados. We live a very relaxed life. And I know in your part of the world as well, you also have beautiful beaches and so on. But your thoughts on, have you gone to the beaches yet?
I'll be there next week.
She says she'll be there next week. Okay, so Kfest is coming up. It's going to be held at the White Park Wesleyan Holiness Church this Saturday. Talk to us more about that.
It starts at 12 and goes until 4 o'clock. And during the Kfest, we want to teach the Korean language, dance, or of course, K-pop songs and dance, and also Taekwondo and food. Give a little exposure to Korean food and games. So because it is just one day, then we are trying to make it as fun as possible, as interactive as possible, and we expect that people will really enjoy.
All right, who's cooking the food? Are you cooking food, Pastor?
Oh yeah, I really definitely want to, but some of our students, they want to be a chef in the future, so they will make a Korean food.
All right, so how big is the contingent you brought to Barbados? How many people are here with you?
Oh, 10 people, 10 students, yes.
All right, 10 students. Where do you hail from? I know you're a volunteer, Chloe. What's your school?
I go to school in Korea, and my major is English.
Oh, so you're majoring in English?
Yes.
Good stuff. You're doing well. How are you faring with the Barbadian accents? Because the accents can be a little thick sometimes. I know we don't think that. But once Barbadians start speaking, and I think it's a Caribbean thing,
yes, it is.
We generally go very quickly, as do you, I would imagine. So how are you faring with the accents?
For me, honestly, I've been to Jamaica, but compared to Jamaica, I feel the Barbadian's accent is more soft. That's what I feel. So I feel more comfortable to communicate with Barbadians.
I can understand why. I can hardly understand Jamaican sometimes myself. So what are you looking forward to most in terms of sharing? I know that Selbert talked to us about there being food and dance and just sharing about the culture generally. But what do you look forward to sharing most?
Oh, for our students, yeah, of course they're teaching language and food. But for us, this is a very good opportunity to share our experience and our thoughts with each other, because we never met Barbadians before. So we are Asian, but you're Caribbeans. So that's why this is a very good chance to expand our limitation, our boundary. So yeah, I think it's going to be a good chance for our students.
Yeah, I absolutely love that, because in this part of the world, I think sometimes that we think people who don't necessarily look like us don't share our beliefs. And, this is a great example of the fact that just isn't true. We tend to generalize a lot because we might be drawn to people who are from where we're from. We feel like our cultures are so different that diverging views might keep us apart. But then here you are, united by faith. And I think that is, that truly is an interesting thing. So I know you have a number of Bible seminars coming up as well.
Yes. So since I came to Barbados, I've been trying to connect with the churches, because churches in general seem to be having, different territories, and it sometimes causes a disconnect for people. And many persons may say, well, I'm a little bit confused. So I'm intentionally making connections with the churches and working together. So we'll be having a Bible seminar from the 19th until the 21st.
The 19th, that's today.
Right.
Yes.
Starting at 7 at the Jubilee House. They call it the Sturdy Building in Bank Hall. Right. There used to be a funeral home and then something else, but it's that upstairs building, and it is at Bank Hall Crossroads between 3rd and 4th Avenue, Manningland, right on the main road going to Eagle Hall. And then until Saturday and then Sunday, we're going to be at Power in the Blood Ministries for the morning service at 9, and in the evening at 6 at Revival Time in Christchurch. And Monday and Tuesday at White Park, we're going to have a crusade there as well. So we'd like everyone to come. The crusade starts at 7.
So you're definitely making an occasion of it.
Yes.
And remind me of the purpose of the moving around to different churches. I know you mentioned briefly sometimes there can be some disconnect as you move across the various denominations, but remind us of the purpose and how you were able to broker that.
Right. Yeah. So when I first came to Barbados, I didn't know anything about Barbados also. Even though I'm from Jamaica, I really honestly didn't know about Barbados. And when I came, I needed help from as many persons as possible. So I continuously reached out, and I basically just want to give back. I'm really, really thankful to these pastors who helped me. And, we believe that the gospel, wherever it's preached, if people, they're able to gain the assurance that my sins are perfectly paid by the blood of Jesus, then wherever they go, it wouldn't be a problem, because they'll be able to hear the same gospel everywhere, every time. And that would confirm, because, so many people serve in the church for their whole life, and when they're about to die, somehow they're still not sure if they'll be able to enter, right? So I'm continuously, speaking and sharing, and we're working together, because it is one gospel, one
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ, and really God, He wants to spread the faith.
I love that message. Thanks for coming. And, you can look up for me definitely now that you've put it out there that there will be a Kfest in Barbados. I'm sure I'll have to show up in some way or form. So thank you for coming through. Kfest is an initiative of the International Youth Fellowship, and they are going to be having it at the Wesleyan Holiness Church, the White Park Wesleyan Holiness Church, on Saturday, October 21st from 12 to 4 in the afternoon. Come out and experience Korean culture. And then, of course, they're going to be fellowshipping as well. So over to Jubilee House on Bank Hall today. Tomorrow on Sunday is Power in the Blood. And on Sunday it's also Revival Time Assembly as well. I'm sure you can check them out to get more details. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
All right, great having you with us. We're going to take a break and come back. More is coming up on Morning Barbados. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
98.1 to 1 is more than a station. We don't just play music, we keep you company, cheer you up, keep you informed and entertained. We are a vibe. What do you mean?
Every day, we bring the party to you.
We are your #1 party station.
We love playing music for our listeners. And we're committed to working with our clients and advertisers to make sure that you get the attention that you deserve.
98.1 The One. Celebrating 18 and still your #1 party station.
From the beautiful shores of the gem of the Caribbean, Barbados, home of the amazing Harrison's Cave, the tantalizing Oystins Bay Garden, our historic garrison, the indigenous road tennis, and the friendliest people in the world. We are 94.7 FM, the ultimate Bajan experience.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kia Lewis, General Practitioner and Healthy Lifestyle Advocate. Good nutrition starts at home. So this school year, I want you to consider packing healthy, nutritious snacks and lunches for your children to carry, rather than having them buy them at school. And don't just pack things you think they should have. Have a discussion and come up with things that you both know they will enjoy.
We're
enjoy a game of dominoes and singing karaoke.
I just love cruise.
When you love me just a little bit longer.
You get to relax and have a drink and listen to some nice music.
It's something different. It's spectacular. It's fabulous. You know, it's a different feeling altogether.
I never feel so good in a party yet.
Follow me to Q in the Community this Thursday.
So good in a party yet. You know why?
It's summer vacation, and CBC TV8 says laugh a little. Your mid-mornings have now included some family-friendly, side-splitting series like The Partridge Family, Benson, and Designing Women. TV not to be missed this vacation. Weekdays from 10 a.m. on CBC TV8. It's Match Day Live from the 246 with host Damian Best. Your all-access pass to the action happening in the BFA Premier League and beyond. Every last Monday of the month on CBC TV8. Kickoff time, 8:30 p.m. with analysis from our panel and highlights of the top performances. You can weigh in on the discussion via WhatsApp on 228-5562. It's Match Day Live from the 246. Don't you miss it.
My friend, you don't plan to get her? Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clark.
Morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So it's just after 7 o'clock in Barbados and across the Eastern Caribbean. Good to have you in company today, whatever you're doing. Maybe you're getting ready to head out of the door. Maybe you're relaxing and possibly you're retired. So good luck and, having a good day, just relaxing. Maybe you're going to head into the garden or just relax and spend some time with me before you go out. That's all a good thing. So we promised to talk to you about the breast screening program, and most certainly we're trying to wear our colors. This is my close to pink hair throughout the month of October as we continue to raise awareness about the importance of breast screening. We know the work that the breast screening program has been doing. So joining us today, we have Dr. Annalisa Caradu, who's medical radiologist at the Imaging Center of Metropolitan Clinic in Venezuela. And also here is Sonia Aline, who is treasurer with the breast screening program as well. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us. Yes.
Absolutely. Good to have you with us. So I've been having quite a few experiences with Venezuelans all this week. We had some talks here in Barbados. There was a big press conference of a signing. So how about that? Wonderful stuff. Fingers crossed. So I'm going to start with you, Sonia. Tell me a little bit about the work of the breast screening program generally, just in case there's someone who's missed it. And how we're to this place now where we have this beautiful lady here sharing with us about, I would imagine, what she does and how that contributes to all the work you're doing to ensure that women, first of all, know early if there's something going on and continue to check on their health.
Yes, well, thanks and good morning again. Tisha, the breast screening program has been around for more than 20 years. We're a subcommittee of the Barbados Cancer Society, and our main focus is mammography and early detection of breast cancer. The clinic is tremendous. We are state-of-the-art first world technology in our unit, and all because we have raised the funds through the public of Barbados, through partners like CIBC First Caribbean, Gildan, corporate Barbados on the whole, and of course the public who come out every year with our walk for the cure. The early detection is what we do. We do mammography and we do ultrasounds. And many people hear those two words and wonder what's the difference. So Annalisa here is going to tell us tonight what the difference is and why you should do either one or both.
All right. What an introduction. So now we know.
Yes. First of all, it's incredible to know that you have the state of the art in technology. So you need to understand the importance of performing mammograms or ultrasounds, but from high technology, and also performed by medical doctors that are specialized. Sometimes we say, no, you can have a mammogram after 40 and it's enough, but sometimes it's not enough because mammograms can see breast cancer, but there are breast cancer that are only seen by ultrasound. And otherwise, so you can have cancers that you see in ultrasound and not in mammogram, and that's why. Because some cancers have little tiny calcifications that are seen in mammograms, and sometimes there are masses that is better to see on ultrasound. So your health provider, I think it has to be all the package. So sometimes it says, no, you don't have to have self-examination or don't have clinical practice. No, we have to have everything we need to perform early detection in breast cancer, because to detect a cancer, it represents to save lives and also breast.
Absolutely. So how do you determine what's needed? Because I would imagine you're not going to do everything at once. Perfect. So how do you determine, I maybe need to add this to my regimen?
Yes. We can begin with the age and the personal history. If you are general population, no high risk, we can begin with mammograms at 40, is the recommendation at Barbados and also from the American Cancer Society. And before 40 years old, we can perform ultrasound. And then the medical will decide in which cases you need both. And for all the population, I also always recommend our patients to look to their breast. So it's not making like a medical examination, it's only to know how your breast looks. So you are also able to say, wow, that's something strange over here, or I'm feeling, and you have to consult your medical doctor. But we can say that age and personal history, 40 years old, I recommend to perform the first mammogram.
All right, so we have a public lecture that's coming up, because I'm thinking, we could talk about this all day. There's so many questions that I have, and I know that many of our viewers would have already as well. So there's an opportunity to really find out a little bit more.
Absolutely. So tonight at the Courtney Blackman Grand Salle at the Central Bank, we have the opportunity to hear an expert in Annalisa. This is what she does every day, day in, day out. And it's free to the public, free to the population, the medical fraternity. We're inviting everyone to come out and demystify the mammogram and the ultrasound myth and the stories that we hear and all those things that people don't want to come to be screened for.
Absolutely. I love the name, The Wise of Early Breast Cancer Detection. And we can spell that WISE, W-I-S-E as well.
Listen, that WISE is huge.
Yes, beautiful name for a great event. So the WISE of Early Breast Cancer Diagnosis coming off at the Grand Salle. Today, Dr. Annalisa will be there of breast imaging in Venezuela. And it's always wonderful to cross-pollinate, to find out what's happening. I know sometimes there's so much happening. Sometimes in women's lives, it's easy to kind of put ourselves on the back burner. And based only on what you said just now, I have so many questions that I know other women will have as well. So we definitely are inviting people to come out, finding out the key to early detection. 7 o'clock. Look, you're giving me something else to do.
Don't miss it.
So you can email breastbarbados@outlook.com if you want more information, or call 436-8888. Don't tell me you can't remember it. It's that simple. 436-8888. And you can call absolutely to find out more information. I know that once you call, the staff, they're always willing to share with you, give you more information. But it's all about tonight at the Grand Salle, 7 o'clock, so you have some time to get yourself together and make sure you get there early, and let's fill up the space and get all that information that we need. Thank you, Dr. Annalisa. Thank you so much Sonia, for coming in and
Thank
sharing
you
with
for
us
taking
Thanks for
and
having us.
continuing the fight.
Absolutely. It's
that's
all
it.
about awareness. Early detection is your best protection.
And
Come out
commitment,
tonight.
awareness, the commitment. Yes.
All right, so make sure you come on out tonight and be a part of it. And it's absolutely free. All right, and not only for the ladies, we're encouraging the gentlemen to come out and be a part of it too. It's time for another break on Morning Barbados. When we come back, something else to put a big smile on your faces. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
My friend, you don't plan to get it. Oh, Barbados. Hey, I'm KB Clean. Join me 6 a.m. until 10 a.m. right here at 94.7, the best and ultimate Bajan experience. My show is called Bajan to the Bone. Don't miss it. Bajan to the Bone. Weekdays right here and only here on 94.7.
I'm Anne St. John, a consultant pediatrician. When packing healthy lunch boxes, do include a fruit, which includes a banana, apple, orange, or grapes to supply fiber. Aim for low-calorie packaged snacks without the mention of flour or sugar amongst the four ingredients on the back label. 1 in 3 children in Barbados is affected by overweight or obesity. Let us join together as parents and care providers.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Good to have you with us as always. I'm wondering if you're getting ready for NIFCA. There was the launch of NIFCA last evening at Queen's Park, and it was quite inspirational. I thoroughly enjoyed it. So congratulations to the National Cultural Foundation. You'll be hearing more about that soon. So coming up next, we're going to be talking to you about the Barbados Landship and the 160th anniversary. Lorraine Seeley is captain of the Barbados Landship, and regimental historian Lieutenant David Adamson. They're going to be joining us to talk more about that. So I most certainly look forward to hearing about it, particularly at this time where we're preparing for NIFCA. And, you know, it's significant that we still have the Barbados Landship and what's happening. So it's time for us to talk about that NIFCA. I had a grand old time last evening at the launch of NIFCA. Like I told you, it was in Queen's Park. And it was wonderful. Akeem Chandler is going to be joining us, and Cara Price, Cultural Officer for the Literary Arts at the National Cultural Foundation, is also coming through this morning. Good morning and welcome. Good to have you with us.
Good morning.
All right, Cara, are you awake?
I am.
We had a fantastic time last evening in Queen's Park as you launched NIFCA, NIFCA's big 50th celebration. So let's hear a little bit about that, your thoughts on how everything unfolded.
I think everything went so well. I was blown away by the talent and the interviews that showed, you know, the history of NIFCA and the impact over the last 50 years. And Akeem Chandler Prescott, who is known to many as Stoned with Cupid, he's actually here with me today because he is going to be featured at the upcoming Lit Line. Now, we're actually presenting this during the NIFCA Festival, but this is a series of events that we have from time to time, which gives an opportunity to showcase our poets or spoken word artists and just different people in the literary community. And so this event is actually going to be held on October 29th, which is a Sunday, 5 to 7 p.m. at Wildy Great House. And you are going to be able to enjoy the poetic stylings of Stoned with Cupid, as well as Narc. And he's also another very popular spoken word artist as well, both of whom have a history in taking part in NIFCA.
All right, so Stoned with Cupid, welcome. Good to see
Hi,
you.
good
Good to
morning.
see you again. Talk to people
Yes.
who might not know about your works, about how you really got into this area of the arts.
Right. So I've been on spoken word now for about I think 6 years. I used to rap, and the first ever major performance I had in spoken word was actually NIFCA. This would have been, I believe, 2016. I entered two pieces, and they won the Earl Warner Trophy for Excellence in Theater, and I think another award. And I would have only been like 8 months in spoken word at the time. So NIFCA was always a proving ground of sorts for me, but I've been doing spoken word all over the island, and I guess to some degree all over the world, for the last 6 years. If anybody wants to find me, they can find me on Instagram or TikTok at Stoned with Cupid. It's one word, or you could go on Spotify, Apple Music, any of those platforms and find it. So I'll be doing some brand new pieces at the Lit Lime on the 29th at Will the Great House. I'm very excited about it. It's really just me and another guy, Narc, as Carol would have said. So I really get the chance to showcase, as long, well, not as long as I want, but longer than usual, longer than what people are used to seeing me do.
And you are indeed very good at what you do. So talk to me. What are your thoughts on being able to offer up this space for you and Narc? Yes, to perform, but I understand there's going to be an open mic segment as well. So it really is an opportunity to endear a few people who might be a little nervous about coming to the front, taking to the stage, showcasing what they can do. It also kind of inspires them to be able to come up for the open mic and share.
Yeah, I'm very excited to see what the open mic brings, because I know a lot of my peers been itching to perform, and I've been meeting a lot of I still young, but I've been meeting a lot of younger people that see me as a veteran, and I'm like, hey, my 20s, what do you mean veteran? But it's nice to see teenagers, and I guess people in the early 20s see me as someone to aspire to be, and look for guidance and little advice from me. So I hope some of them pass through to this and showcase their talents. I never really been to Will the Great House, but from the pictures I've seen, it seemed like a nice, intimate space. So it seems like a space conducive for poetry. So I look forward to the open mic. If anybody's watching this in Barbados right now and you feel that you got some bars and you want to spit something, this is definitely an event to pass through and try to that.
Absolutely. Tell me about how you decided on, who you wanted to be a part of this, Cara. I know for me, with Stone with Cupid, it's a no-brainer if you're talking about spoken word, but you have to make the determination. So tell me about how it all came together.
Okay, wonderful. Well, this was an idea that we have been working on for a while, where we thought that sometimes literary arts can be a bit of a quiet discipline, and we wanted the opportunity to showcase the overwhelming talent that we have here. And we actually had the first one at Gun Hill against the breathtaking backdrop of the St. George Valley. And we had Cindy Celeste, who is an amazing talent, an amazing spoken word artist as well. And we had another great artist, Carrie Belgrave, who is both a NIFCA award-winning artist as well as a Frank Collymore awarded artist. And that event took place, to a great success. And so we wanted to recreate this environment again. But obviously now this is taking place in the month of NIFCA. And we just, again, wanted to highlight and celebrate the talents of people who would have participated in the NIFCA festival. Choosing Stoned with Cupid as well as Narc was a no-brainer. They're both very talented young men with a lot to offer. And the other good thing about it is we know they're going to be able to draw a good crowd because they have, passionate fans and followers. And for me, I think if I attended an event like this and I saw the two of them up on stage, according to Akeem, spitting bars, I feel I would be inspired as well to step up to the mic. And I want to say that at the last Lit Line, we had people like, for example, Winston Farrell was one of the people who got up to the mic and read a piece. So, you're going to be in good company. And I wouldn't want people to feel shy, because this is the way that new talent is discovered. And it's a very supportive atmosphere. So, yes, we're inviting everybody to come out and attend and just see all the good work that these two young men have to offer.
Absolutely. So talk to us, Akeem, about how you got into spoken word, because there might be some young people out there who are thinking, and I know usually when you're getting down in age, you start talking about, I'm still young, so I recognize that's happening with you now, so you're feeling the pinch. Maybe you can write something about it. Maybe you can, according to Kara and according to you, spit some bars.
Right.
About
I
it.
think Nart would be very pleased to hear you call him a young man. Yeah, so I spoken word for me was always a cathartic experience. It's like journaling in a very performative way. So I got into it because I feel like I had a lot to say, and I used to rap prior to spoken word, and rap could be a little limiting from the meter and the structure of rap. So it was really a means of me to express myself, and it really helped with my self-confidence and self-expression and articulation. So for the young people that every time a camera go in front of them and they just freeze up, or they're afraid of public speaking, I feel like spoken word is a really good tool that you can use to build that confidence and speak in front of a crowd. And as a hip hop head and somebody who loves lyricism and with a light old school rap, I feel like I age in myself. Just to reiterate, I still in my 20s. I spoken word was a really good avenue for me to get to the essence of what I like, which is really playing with words and creative writing and really painting an image without a canvas, using your voice and your words and the images you paint with your words as the canvas. So it's a good medium to express yourself as freely as you want. And what the day life for NIFCA is gone, but NIFCA is a great place too to showcase it on a national scale. I also entered NIFCA, so we'll see how that pans out. But yeah, I look forward to any new faces that pop up, because we see the same faces a lot at these events. So I'm really looking forward to new faces popping up and experimenting with the art form.
Absolutely. And I know that you use this platform to be able to share a lot about the things that you're passionate about as well. The environment included, and many other topics that oftentimes we don't hear as much as we should about.
Yeah. I think it's a great vehicle to speak on national issues, because the only other art form we have that really touches on national issues would be social commentary. And I find that's very seasonal. You don't really get those songs coming out outside of the crop over season. So it's a really good vehicle to speak on national issues, international issues, and then the invisible issues, because we have so many young people in Barbados, for example, struggling with mental health. And you see it coming out in the spoken word and in the poetry, and you really get a glimpse into what the psyche of the people really are. So it's a good vehicle to message. I tend to use it to message in areas of climate change and same mental health, depression, and just general wellness. And in the past, I would have used it to speak on gun violence. I would have entered a couple of competitions and would have won with pieces speaking on gun violence and even things like bullying in schools. So it's a really good medium to express things of national concern or things of personal concern, because every person makes up the national body. So yeah, it's an art form that really allows you to dive in deep. It's not surface level at all. You really get to the meat of the matter in something like spoken word.
All right, Stoned with Cupid, trust him to show up to Mornin Barbados with an entire radio studio. Kara is coming off on Sunday the 29th, so we still have some time to really get ourselves together and come out. This is a fantastic initiative, not only to showcase talent, but as you mentioned, to encourage new talent, to encourage people to come out. I love the title, Lit Limes, at Wildy Great House, 5 to 7 o'clock, Narc and Stoned with Cupid. And there, of course, is an open mic segment. And the admission is the one that everybody loves, Kara. It's free. Final word is yours.
Okay, so I'm just going to echo what you just said. We're inviting everybody to come out and enjoy themselves. It's a beautiful location. and we're going to discover some new talent, and we're going to enjoy some established talent. And I just want to give a quick shameless plug to Akeem here, who was one of the winning entrants during our NIFCA competition last year. And he, like many others, will be featured on an audiobook being produced of winning poems from NIFCA last year. And his piece is amazing. So I just wanted to get that in there, and perhaps he might be performing that one on Sunday. I'm not sure. But yeah, Sunday, October 29th, everybody come on out, and a great time will be had.
That sounded like a not too quiet suggestion, Akeem. So Akeem Chandler Prescott, Stoned with Cupid, and Cara Price, Cultural Officer for the Literary Arts in the National Cultural Foundation. I would never have guessed that you would have had such a huge night last night, showing up so early, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, Cara. So good to have both of you with us, and we wish you the best on the event. We most certainly will continue to share about it, and we invite everybody to come on out. Have a great one.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you so much.
All right, good stuff. Make sure you are part of that. All right, next we are going to be connecting with our studios upstairs here at CBC The Pine. We're going to see what we can see by looking into Q 100.7 FM and having a brief chat with the Admiral. That's next.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
I'm Anne St. John, a consultant pediatrician. When packing healthy lunch boxes, do include a fruit, which includes a banana, apple, orange, or grapes to supply fiber. Aim for low-calorie packaged snacks without the mention of flour or sugar amongst the four ingredients on the back label. 1 in 3 children in Barbados is affected by overweight or obesity. Let us join together as parents and care providers to reduce the further development of this chronic non-communicable disease within our communities.
Hey, not only grown-ups can sing, we can too. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, so we want to make sure that you get to know some of the CBC personalities from our radio studios a whole lot more. We don't have to introduce you to this next gentleman, but it's good nonetheless to check in with him. He's the morning man on Q 100.7 Quality FM. I'm talking about none other than Anthony, the Admiral Nelson. Good morning to you. Nelson, good morning.
Good morning, Tisha, and good morning to Barbados. It fits, huh? Morning Barbados. So good morning, guys. And good morning to Nadia and all the backroom staff down there that laughing and having fun.
Admiral,
great to have you on board. Good to be on CBC TV8.
Did you almost call my name wrong?
I nearly called your name wrong. I was seeing another girl. You know, men are not. You're not supposed to do that. But it's Tisha Hines, okay? Tisha.
All right, talk to me. You've, you know, you were on 94.7 FM for quite some time, of course. You're known here at CBC for your stint in building 98.1, the one as a stalwart, really. And then you did a major shift to 94.7. And now you're the morning guy on Q 100.7 FM.
I ain't doing the shift,
different
Tisha.
demographic,
I ain't doing the
amazing.
shift. I ain't doing the shift, Tisha. The shift me, because I get too old for 98.
But they were right.
I know. I know. I know they got me on the oldest station. We call this the University of Diversity up here, 100.7 Q. The journey with CBC for me has been really one. I thank CBC for everything they have done, you know, to keep me up. I think we share a common goal here. You know, you come to work, You get up in the morning early, you come to do this because you love it. And some people enjoy what you do, some people don't, but you try to make as many people as happy as possible. You know how it is, Tisha, it's not easy to get out of your bed every morning at 3:30 to come to work to do this job, but I love it. I love the experience of coming and giving people information and getting the news and then getting out of here and ain't got nobody to worry you.
How do you
Simple, just like that.
How do you constantly reinvent yourself and keep yourself so relevant? Because I mean, you've been doing this for quite some time, and you continue to be just top of the line, top in your game.
I like that relic question, though, Tisha. But yes, no, come on, I live, and especially when you live young people too. You tend to stay with the times. And if you're in broadcasting, you notice, Tisha, if you're in broadcasting, you have to stay on top of your game. You have to not only look the part and song the part, but you got to be the part, you know? Sometimes you put a little down your hair to hide the grays and stuff and do all types of little weird things, but you do it because, hey, you got to look good. Shave up and dress up and look properly and put on makeup and thing and make yourself look all right. If you're coming to your audience, you got to come, you got to be the part. So I like that. I like it.
I think for me, when we talk about what happens in the morning time on QFM, one of the first things that people talk about are the duppies. They call them the duppies, you know, the obituaries, but that has come to be one of the things that Q is known for in the morning. Was it a little different for you coming into doing the obituaries early in the morning? Because I know when I worked 900 a.m., initially doing that early in the morning, it was a little different. It took a little getting accustomed to.
Because many years ago, when Sam Tate was the general manager here at CBC, I got my baptism in reading obituaries. It was on 900 AM at the time. Yes, I haven't done it for about 25 years. The difficulty with the reading of the obituaries, though, is being able to try to pronounce people's names as accurately as you can. And sometimes it's very difficult because there's, you know, sometimes you butt up on a name like Petra, P-E-T-R-A, and you call it Petra, and some people call it Petra. These are the things that we go through. I had a strange name this morning that starts with a T and has nothing to do with a T. Sanita with a T. Nah, how does that work out? But you know, you have to try to get it right. So what I do, I encourage families to send me voice notes of the pronunciations, and what the department here would do sometimes is provide the obituary like the night before. If I'm lucky, I'll get them and I'll be able to go through the obituaries. And Tisha, you must know it's tough on your voice to sit down and read from 5 minutes after 6 to 7:15, a whole bunch of obituaries. Every family wants to know that you're taking your time with the obituaries because funerals are very, very serious and you have to treat families properly, so you have to try to do it well. And you got to be willing to apologize, to say, you know, you're sorry, or you give 2 or 3 different pronunciations and hope that one works. So it's that type of challenge, but guess what? It's a beautiful challenge. And don't talk about the nicknames. If you hear the nicknames that you butter on,
let's not talk about it because we had a big discussion about one nickname that came up about a month ago. We absolutely can't talk about that on Morning Barbados. Yeah, but you know, you tend to be the type of guy that people love and people love to hate because, as we say in Bajan parlance, you just speak your mind. You speak openly. You put it all out there. You know, and it's wonderful that the Q family, because Q really is a family, that they've embraced you. They absolutely love what you do in the morning time.
Listen, Tisha, I use a couple of things to keep me alive. I use one from a guy called Rashordi, whose grandparents were Barbadian, and he said in a song, my foundation is as strong as from here to thy kingdom come. And then I read the Bible, and I use the story in the Bible. I have a situation where Jesus comes down to the earth, to mankind, and to do such a great job for us, and they crucify the man. But I ain't a body teacher, so they could do anything with me if they could crucify he. they can crucify me too. I good. You know what I mean? So I depend on myself a lot for strength. I think that if you're coming to work at a company like CBC, there's no time for complacency, and you got to try to get it right at all time. Even if it means waking up the guard when you come to work to get in the building. But you gotta get it right. You just gotta get it right. That's the way it is.
Admiral, you're one of my favorite people. Always have been, and you're one of these people.
I'm on 100.7 QFM and on CBC TV 8, where the programming is great. Check us out.
Absolutely. Now, you're one of the people that I came. What are you drinking?
It's me.
You know you're one of the people always, and you're one of these people.
You too. I'm proud of where you've come. We have a team of PBC, man. I drink tea to keep my throat kind of smooth in the morning. Drink hot tea.
All right. We kind of have a little bit of a lag, so that's a little crazy. But wonderful to connect with you, Admiral. I was saying Admiral is one of the people I came to see. He was here when I came here to CBC, and he just is an infectious personality, very genuine in spirit. And you can find him on Q100.7 FM weekday mornings from 5 o'clock in the morning all the way down to 9 o'clock. The Admiral, make sure you check him out on our sister station, QFM. And of course, Q is a big family in the community, and that's what we do on air, and that's radio and television as well, and of course in the communities too. So you can head out to Q in the community. We're going to tell you exactly where Q will be today in just a little bit. So stay with us. We have more to come here on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey, not only grown-ups can sing, we can too.
Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to.
CBC TV 8 is having a kids karaoke show just for us. So children between the ages of 5 to 17 come in and join in for fun. Email Nadia Foster at nfoster@cbc.bb. Hear you soon. Bye.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, welcome back to Morning Barbados. So we're telling you all about the landship, the Barbados landship, celebrating a 160th anniversary. And I mentioned that we're going to have Lorraine Seeley, Captain, Barbados Landship Association, and the regimental historian, Lieutenant David Adamson, committee member with the Barbados Landship Association's 160th anniversary. So welcome, congratulations. Good morning.
Good morning, all.
Good morning to you and all the viewers.
Yes, please. All
right.
the viewers, all of Barbados.
Wonderful to have you with us. And we're going to start with you, Lieutenant Adamson. Just lay the foundation for us as we talk about the oldest Afro-Barbadian cultural group. The fact that the landship is still around says a great deal. And to be able to celebrate a 160th anniversary is quite the achievement.
Yes, so at the start, I'm going to let you know that I am on the committee. So at this time, it would be remiss of me not to hand over to Lorraine because she's an actual member of the Barbados Landship, and she can take us through the times and periods of the Barbados Landship.
Yeah, but we're not ready for the times and periods yet. Most certainly, everybody in Barbados has an experience with the Barbados Landship, and being part of the committee, sir, I'm sure you know of the Landship and all that they have done. But I will take your kind direction and defer to to Ms. Seeley to tell us all about the significance of this 160th anniversary.
Yes, please.
Thank you very much. And again, good morning to you all and the viewers. It is really a pleasure to have Lieutenant Adamson join us on this committee to help us to document the years that we struggled as an association, and now we are looking at reaching out to the community, getting new blood into it to keep it going forward. So this 160th anniversary will be a tremendous feat for us. And we are asking the general public to do support us. We are having a church service on Sunday at the St. Leonard Anglican Church at 8 a.m. There will be a procession from Enrichment Gap, where it was the old Queen Mary dock, to the church. And the neighbors can come out, they can encourage the members as they go on. And there will be some invited guests. And we are hoping that this will draw some attention and people will get to understand that the landship is not dead.
Absolutely not. Tell me about how you got involved with the landship.
I got involved in the landship 30 years ago by the request of the late Admiral Watson, and I came and I was a commander there. Then I became captain 2 years ago and enjoying it.
All right, I can see that you spent some time and you truly are enjoying it. So back to you, Lieutenant David Adamson. Tell us about the work of the committee.
Right, so the Barbados Landship is celebrating its 160th anniversary this year. The actual anniversary is going to be on the 28th of October 2023. Now, what we are looking at is the fact that the Barbados Landship is seen as an indigenous organization to Barbados. But in her book, Dr. Nancy Jacobs has expressed that it had more or less its origins in Ghana with the Asafo people. Good. So in the age or the period of slavery, that practice, those traditions were brought from Africa and instilled in some of the, as you may want to call it, the enslaved people here and then subsequent generations. And we have all known that over time, the Barbados Landship and the Barbados Landship Association has served Barbados well over the period. Now, my association with the Barbados Landship only started a couple months ago. Commodore Arrington Sherlin, gave permission for me to go to the Barbados Landship and render some human assistance and service to them, given the fact that they were in need of such assistance. So I went down there as a regimental historian and was able to give them some history in terms of the way we wear our uniforms, the regalia in which we, and the ranks and the insignia and such like. So what happened after that was that someone said, "You're a good man for the committee." And I ended up on the 160th anniversary committee, assisting in the planning of several events to commemorate the 160th under Dr. John Hunt. Only last Saturday, the 14th, we had a tribute to the ancestors. That is a visit to the grave sites of the past members and the past command of the Barbados Landship. We were actually at the Lord High Admiral Vernon Watson's grave on Saturday. That was carried in the nation on Sunday in the Sunday Sun. and we are looking forward to the 160th anniversary church service, as you hear. Coming up next week, Tuesday, we are expected to have some film presentations, good, and that will be featuring a couple of films which are related to the Barbados landship. One is said to be Under the Dock, good, and there's another one which isn't coming to mind, but before the end of this interview, I will let you know. Good. And then we are going on the 20th, we are 28th of October, which is the actual anniversary. We are looking to have a Barbados Landship Association village dance and karaoke line at the dock. The dock is called the Iron Duke, and that is located at Licorice Village in St. Michael. Then on the 4th, we are expected to do the All Ships to Port Parade in Queen's Park. You'll have a procession coming from the Lower Green in the area of St. Mary's Church and going right up to the area of the Central Bank, good, in that nice little park area, the Village Green, and then you would link up with the younger children for a march and procession into Queen's Park for the big parade.
All right, lots happening with the celebrations coming up, so lots of activities. Miss Seeley, what would you say to younger people who might be looking on? Because I know you mentioned that you're looking for some new blood, and that is, of course, what we need to be able to say that we can keep the ship sailing for another 160 years.
Well, definitely. I would like to see that the association be more vibrant in the school, where the children can be seen and they would learn the maneuvers and they would learn activities of the Barbados landship and what the landship can do for an individual, such as learning to be a thrifty person. And we also do self-defense in the forms of stick licking. We do that to educate them, keep them active, and encourage them to come along. They even do parades, national parades, where I led the Barbados landship for a couple of years. And it is very interesting as long as you get into it. And we want the young ones, especially young males, to come. We need to restart our engine, and the engine is what others call the tukban. We need to restart that. We need some young men to come. We have women, yeah, but we need the males. So I'm encouraging males to come along and get on board with us.
All right, thank you so much. And I absolutely, you know, we all have a landship story, like I told you. And remember being able to be exposed to it at the various cultural events across the island. You most certainly are a part of almost everything that is done. So I look forward to all that you have planned. Again, let me mention the events very quickly for you. Saturday the 14th. That is gone. There was the tribute to the ancestors. Coming up on Sunday 22nd is the 160th anniversary church service and elevation of Captain Elton Graves, the Admiral at St. Leonard's Anglican Church, Westbury Road, from 9:30 a.m. There will be a procession in the area. So if you live in the area, you want to come out and experience it, you should be a part of it. Tuesday, October 24th, 2023, film presentations, featuring Rada Gray and Winston Farrell at 6 o'clock in the evening. Saturday, 28th, the actual anniversary, the Barbados Landship Association Village Dance and Karaoke Line. There will be lots happening, tuk maneuvers, and of course the Landship performing for you. That will be at Licorice Village, St. Michael, 11 o'clock in the morning. And Saturday, November 4th, Calling Ships to Port Parade of Ships. There will be a special presentation. There will be speeches, maneuvers, maypole, and displays at Queen's Park at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Thank you both for your time. I wish you, the committee, and all of the members, and indeed all of Barbados, a happy 160th anniversary.
Besides, do we have time to thank the patron of the Barbados Landship, Sir David Simmons, the co-patron, Miss Margaret Williams, and the NCF, and Admiral Designate Elton Graves for their sterling contribution to this particular anniversary. And last but not least, the Barbados Defence Force for lending their assistance in this very worthy cause.
Thank you.
I thank you very much, ma'am. Have a great day.
And you. All right, we're going to take another break here and come on back on Morning Barbados. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Hey, not only grown-ups can sing, we can too.
Go easy on me, baby. I was still a child, didn't get the chance to.
CBC TV8 is having a kids karaoke show just for us. So children between the ages of 5 to 17 come in and join in for fun. Email Nadia Foster at nfoster@cbc.bb. Hear you soon. Bye.
For the past 19 years, QFM has been sharing with you, learning from you, and together building a community for all mature audiences. That's why we say Q is good for you. To our Q family, we say thank you for staying connected to Q 100.7 FM. QFM is a station of the Caribbean Broadcasting Corporation. CBC, celebrating 60, connecting Barbadian communities. Are you a youth group, 4-H club, school, Cub Scout or Brownie Pack, or any organization or club with children ages 4 to 11 years? If yes is the answer, then we at Fun School, we're looking for you. Let's have fun singing, dancing, listening to amazing stories, doing craft, and so much more. I'm such a kid at heart. But to be part of this fun and exciting new season of Fun School, just simply send an email to Alicia Alves Grant at aagrant@cbc.bb for further details. Fun School is back, and we're looking for you.
While you go about your business, we go about our business, and that is gathering the news. Stay up to date at CBC News Barbados on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Get news update on radio throughout the day. And join us for the CBC News Night at 7 every night. CBC News team is on the job and bringing you the news.
There is a saying, you can find a Bajan anywhere. Are you a Bajan living abroad?
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
So I mentioned a few times this morning that I had the distinct pleasure of attending the NIFCA 50th anniversary launch last evening at Queen's Park, and what an evening it was. Congratulations to the National Cultural Foundation. They put on quite a show, as they always do, and they used up the entire park. So the entire occasion started at the Queen's Park Steel Shed, and then we moved on up over to the Daphne Joseph Hackett Theatre. There, of course, was an installment there, an art installation for us to be able to look at and enjoy. And then there were some great presentations as well. But it all started with some wonderful speeches. The Minister with Responsibility for Culture in the Prime Minister's Office, Senator Dr. The Honourable Chantal Monroe-Knight, she gave a most stirring presentation in her feature address.
Created a mirror for us to look at our society and say things that were perhaps a little bit uncomfortable with. And that is perhaps the job of the arts. But the impact of NIFCA goes beyond just the performance that we see on the stage, it goes just beyond the prizes and even the acknowledgement. One, for me, there is the intrinsic value, as I said before, of us being able to celebrate our culture and the people that live it, that breathe it, and that express it for us. But also, as well, as we've heard, NIFCA is also about development. It is also about taking the arts and that expression beyond just the stage, but also, as well, extrapolating it into also our lived reality. And we've seen that in the context of NIFCA.
It's a pleasure to welcome you to this launch of NIFCA, Barbados' National Independence Festival of Creative Arts. In this year, 2023, we celebrate NIFCA's 50th anniversary. And as they say in Barbados, 50 years ain't 50 days. Traditionally, the achievement of 50 years is considered golden, with golden years of celebrating Barbados in the arts, critiquing our society through the arts, and developing our artists as our culture's mouthpiece. NIFCA has indeed meant many things to many people. For some, NIFCA has been the rite of passage, the stage where many young and not so young people developed confidence in their own voice and their own ideas. For others, it has been their opportunity to speak the truth to power, to protest to our leaders and our institutions and communities about practices that need change.
Through the time and time again, he'll take care of you, and he'll do it again. Like God's gonna do it again. You see, just take a look at where you are now and where you've been. But hasn't he always come through for you? He's the same now as then. You may not know how, you may not know when, but he'll do it again. You see, God knows the things that you're going through, and he knows how you're hurting. But you see, he knows just how your heart has been broken in two. But he's the God of the stars, the sun, and the sea, and he is your Father. Now he'll come and serve, he'll find a way to fix it for you. I know they come say I'm too like us. No come they come say you too like us. You get it that body hate and the bad and the king come mind and mind money. Make it dance like only. Steady playing like properly. Steady you make my know yeah what you want. But in a man fantasy. What is it my God be no wrong. But it is my way be wrong. So only make my dog be wrong.
So it was a wonderful night, lots to celebrate. It was hosted by Cassandra Crawford. She really pulled the entire thing together, did a fantastic job, and looked equally as wonderful. It was great to catch up with everybody there. So make sure you look out. The NIFCA calendar is out. You know, you're going to get the final calendar soon, so be sure to look out for that. Hey, Q in the Community is going to be at Golden Square today, Golden Square Car Park from 11 o'clock this morning, hosted by Delisa Entertainment and the COB Cooperative Credit Union. They also have a big celebration, a 40th anniversary that they're celebrating. So a big congrats to COB Cooperative Credit Union as well. But that's where we will be today. Make sure you listen in from 11 o'clock on Q100.7 FM. Host Jaquila Lewis is going to be there as well. We had her on earlier this week. So listen out for Jaquila and the Q family coming to Bridgetown. Hey, coming up tomorrow, there will be lots of giveaways, compliment COB, by the way. So come out and celebrate COB's 40th anniversary with them, like I told you. Now, coming up tomorrow, radio personality Blood is going to be here with us. He's on 94.7 FM. Also, UN in the City, learning about the Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs, as we look to 2030. We're going to tell you more about them. We go more with our partner, or sister, really, from the National Cultural Foundation. Onika Small is going to be here to talk about that installation, the art installation at the Queen's Park Gallery. And Los Angeles-based Bajan recording artist, singer, songwriter Yoni is going to be in. That's all coming up tomorrow on Morning Barbados as you go through your day. Do remember to wear your smiles, do something nice for someone, and come on back, God willing, tomorrow. Have a great day today. Bye-bye.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.